Hello lords and ladies of YouTube, welcome to my brand new series of Crusader Kings 3. We are, as part of this particular series, we are going to be exploring the latest DLC, Roads to Power. This is obviously the new start date, 1178, which does look really exciting, and I will be exploring that in another playthrough. But for this particular series, I wanted to explore 1066 and the bookmark of the Wandering Exiles. There's a couple of stories here that look really interesting. And I really like the idea of starting unlanded and having your own camp and recruiting followers and all that comes with that. These particular characters have some story behind them as well, so there's some special story content available for some of them, so I do want to explore that a little bit. One particular character that I am interested in is Hereweard the Wake. So his story is that he was exiled and branded an outlaw by Edward the Confessor, so he's travelled to Flanders to seek his fame and fortune. Hereweard would one day return to England and lead a determined resistance against the Norman invaders, becoming a folk hero of great renown. So the question is, will Hereweard remain a notorious villain under your guiding hand, or become the hero he was born to be? So that for me is pretty exciting. You can sort of take it different ways there. It is obviously an advanced start, and I am not an advanced player by any means. I think I have around 130, 140 hours in game, and the majority of that has been spent, probably 100 hours of that has been spent playing the Game of Thrones mod. And there is obviously some subtle differences here between the modded playthrough that I've been doing and how we'll play this one. Obviously, given the new tactics that we can employ as being unlanded, so this is going to be interesting. This might all end in flames, but we shall see. I should probably have taken one of the easier routes, but offline and while I've not been recording, I've been playing before the update dropped. I've been playing as Jarl Ivor the Boneless, so I've been playing as one of the Norman invaders, so I think it's going to be quite interesting for me this time around to play as someone who's kind of resisting that, really. So yeah, we're going to jump on in. I hope you enjoy the series, whether it's a long one or a short one, we shall see. I did start, just a little disclaimer, I did start recording this the day after Roads to Power dropped, and I did play as Hereweard the Wake for probably, I recorded one episode that was about an hour long, but then there was another small update, and that particular save file was not was no longer valid, so this is why I'm starting it again, just so you're aware. So yeah, let's jump on in. Let's jump straight to it. So here we are. This is boss Hereweard the Wake, and by the way, I'm not a historian by any stretch. History is not. I enjoy it, and I enjoy watching sort of historical dramas and what have you. But I'm not sort of clued up on all the facts. And this is I think the first time I've ever even heard of Hereweard the Wake. So it's not somebody that I'm sort of really familiar with before playing this. There is an interesting history about him, so I did watch a small snippet of a YouTube video and did look on Wikipedia. That's about the extent of my knowledge about Hereweard the Wake, so if you are interested, then I would encourage you to do that, because he seems like quite an interesting character. So this is him. We're starting at the age of 22. We are of House Oslac. It says the house motto is pious with sword in hand, so that's interesting. I wonder if he is a particularly pious kind of guy. He is ambitious, so he knows what he wants. He's not afraid to try and get it. He's vengeful. He's slow to forget a slight or someone who does him wrong, and he is quick to anger and fury. Okay, so interesting. He's a skilled tactician. He's an aspiring blade master. He's obviously exiled, so it says he's an exiled noble, a man without a purpose, a listless drifter. He's a forder, so we get a travel speed of +15. He's a veteran adventurer, which gives us a few nice bonuses there. So we get martial per level of fame is +1. Prowess per level of fame is also +1. Men at arms maintenance is -50%, so that's really good. General opinion, however, is -10. There's a couple of other bits and pieces there. So it says he's previously led a life of bravery and action as an adventurer and proven his worth by working his way up from such humble beginnings. We also have the fame trait Gallows Bait, which means that he has made a name for himself as a petty criminal. For this series, just so you're aware, we will be sort of doing a little bit of RP, but it'll be very light RP. All I'll be doing is making decisions that I think fit with this particular character. So we'll try not to make too many decisions that induce a lot of stress. We'll try and play towards him being vengeful, ambitious and wrathful. But I'm not going to stick really strictly to that because, as we all know, just you might have these particular traits, but it doesn't mean that you don't stray from them from time to time. And it'd be worthwhile in inducing a little bit of stress if needed, if we're going to benefit from that. So yeah, it'll just be very light RP. We'll just kind of try and make decisions that I feel that Hereweard would make based on the kind of guy that we believe him to be. So he's terrible diplomacy and not great learning or intrigue. He's sort of average for his stewardship, but he is excellent with his martial skill, and he's got excellent prowess as well, so that's really good for us to start with. He is a Catholic Anglo-Saxon, okay, and so we're starting with 80 gold, 750 prestige, and 50 piety. A level of devotion is dutiful. Our sort of title is the title holder is us, and it is the Men of the Fens. We are obviously unlanded, and our military strength is that we have 500 soldiers. Okay, so that's all looking pretty good. We do have some provisions here. I think obviously this is due to us being unlanded, so we're going to use provisions when we travel. So we need to keep an eye on those provisions and make sure that we get them stocked up as and when we need to. I'll just quickly look at I don't believe we have anyone in our camp, or we didn't when I last tried this playthrough, when I played it for an hour. So this is our wife. She's Catholic and Dutch. She's vengeful, paranoid and patient, and she's a thrifty clerk. Her skills are pretty terrible across the board, actually. She's not the best wife, bless her, and she's not got a very good opinion of us either, to be honest. So I wonder if that's going to cause us any particular problems. We do have a sibling. We've got Odgar Fredrickson of Oslac. He's our half brother, and he is also of House Oslac. He's a different kind of guy to us altogether. So he's content, he's forgiving, and he's arbitrary. So he's pretty much the polar opposite of Hereweard. His skills are not quite as impressive as Hereweard's, it must be said. So bless him, he's not quite as good as we are. So we have the option here to create a cadet branch. So it may be time for my family to abandon the legacy of House Oslac and carve its own path in history, with me as the head of this new branch. Who's the dynasty head then? Is that not? It's not us. Who's this guy? So this is Half Dancer of Oslac. He is our uncle. He's gluttonous, impatient, compassionate. He's an astute intellectual, and he's a monk. Okay, interesting. He's homosexual. He's got no children and no partner. And he's the dynasty head. Don't think I'm going to create a cadet branch just yet. I don't know if we should or not. Let's just have a little think about that before we make that decision. Choose our lifestyle. We are going to obviously go down the martial route because he's got excellent martial skill, and because of this we gain 30% more experience in this lifestyle. We only have the one lifestyle focus, which is Valor. Take the command, lead by example. So focusing on Valor grants us martial scheme phase length is 15 days faster per scheme phase. We get a battle advantage of +10 and men-at-arms toughness +15%. So that's really good. We're going to take that. We already have a couple of perks here as well. So we've got Bellum Justum and Organised March. Pretty handy. Okay, and then so we have no player heir. So we do need to probably start improving our relationship with our wife a little bit. So let's... Her capital's too far away. Where's our wife? Oh, she's just not actually... Ah, yeah. I remember she's not actually in our camp, so we need to invite her. And she will accept. We're not going to pay for her to join us. She can just come and join us. So, yeah, we don't actually have any followers at the moment, which is a bit of an issue. We've got nobody to employ as our personal physician. We can't fill any of these roles, and so that's not good. We can move our camp for new contracts. We don't have any knights. We can make a request interaction with this guy. Effects on us. Okay, so we can make it for provisions. He will lose opinion of us. Okay. We can make a request for gold. We would get 90 gold. And he loses 40 opinion. For a men-at-arms regiment to rent a knight. He doesn't have any knights willing to rent them. We can arrange a marriage, but we don't have anyone to marry off because we've got nobody in our camp. Or we can... No, we can't. He's already issued us a Okay, so there's no valid contracts. We're not going to use that request just yet then. What we'll do is we'll just have a look at the contracts that... So this is the contract. Is this the one that... Yeah, contractor. So this is the contract he's already offered. It's a tier 2. It's a criminal contract. And it requires us to complete an intrigue scheme. I'm reluctant to do that because our intrigue is poor. The only person we have at the moment to help us is our wife, whose intrigue is also poor. So, although it's a murder, we don't really have the skills to be taking on that kind of contract. I wonder, it looks like these... Are they all... They're not all intrigue, are they? So this is a criminal contract, but it's a discreet one. Skilled hunters are sought by the Count of Clermont to capture uncommon quarry and return it alive. That's intrigue as well, though. Burn property, also intrigue. There's got to be some criminal contracts that are not intrigue-based, surely. Let's just let time tick on a little bit. So, okay, here we go. News from the island. My father was a stern man. With the benefit of years... Now I can see my indiscretions towards him were taken in the humour they deserved. His appeal to King Edward was heeded, and so I found myself here in Bruges doing dirty work for Duke Baudouin. But it has been long years, and England finds itself in flux. King Edward is dead, King Harold has seized the throne, and his enemies, Duke William and King Harold, plot his downfall. I merely hope whatever turmoil the coming days brings stays clear of my family and our lands. Okay. So this is King Harold of England who has seized the throne. These are his children and his wife. Although he's not too formidable, his strength is vastly superior to ours because we only have the 500 soldiers, so we can't take him to task over anything. But these are his enemies, who are trying to plot his downfall. So this is obviously a Norwegian. It's I think got designs on the throne of England, so we need to keep an eye on this guy and see what happens over in England. There's also Duke William, the bastard of Normandy. Probably hoping to capitalise on the Norman invasion and sit himself on the throne of England. So again, we need to keep an eye on what's going on. So I think that this makes sense for us to become aware of foreign affairs for 5 years. So it says this character keeps a watchful eye on proceedings abroad, their camps stocked and ready to move at a moment's notice. Gives us +1 to diplomacy, provisions capacity +15, and travel speed +15%. And that makes sense for us because we are ambitious. We could also just say, do you know what, we're not bothered, our destiny does not lie in England, but that gives us stress. I think playing to his particular character, he would want to know what's going on, and he would want to be keeping tabs on the situation over in England. Right, our wife has joined us. We've got a little bit of a better opinion now that she's joined us. I think what we will do is, I don't think we're going to have much of a... We could try and seduce her. We've got good odds. Do you know what? Let's just jump straight in. We're going to try and seduce our wife. We're going to try and secure an heir if we can. That's on the cards. We started a seduction scheme against our wife. Okay, destiny. I turn the letter over in my hands, feeling its rough exterior, the wax seal and the crest stamped upon it, the crest of Oslac. I slice the seal open and begin reading. The news is grim indeed. My brother Ordgar lives, and indeed it is his hand that wrote this missive, but the rumours coming from Normandy prove to be true. Harold of Godwin has been forcefully deposed, now either dead or in hiding. Interesting. Duke William, the bastard pretender to the English throne, is now King William of England. He has already begun to hand out parcels of land to his followers, wresting them from the grasp of the defeated Anglo-Saxons. My brother pleads for help. I will not desert my family in their hour of need, so we will begin travelling to Ely? I have no idea, we're going to say Ely. So we'll begin travelling to Ely, and we lose 15 stress. I've not been in Oslac for a long time now. Well, we didn't choose to create a cadet branch, we are still in Oslac. And I think that because of his particular character, we will go back. We won't desert our family. We won't desert... Not that we have much family left by the look of it, but we do have our half-brother, and we might be poles apart in terms of personality, but we're not going to desert him. We are going to go and try and help against this Norman invasion. Now that King William sits upon the throne, I can't imagine that Hereweard would be particularly happy with that, so let's start making our way across. We've got our wife with us. She's the only person with us at the moment. Here we go. Won't be missed. As we continue through Blything, my eye catches an elaborately decorated tomb amidst a network of common graves. The tomb appears to be cracked open, and just within its mouth I see the glimmer of some unknown treasure. None but my party appear to be around, and surely whomever once saw the contents of this tomb would not cast judgment on me for taking what would go otherwise unused. Okay, so we're in Blything. We've seen a tomb that's cracked open, and there's some kind of treasure in there. So we could... This is an intrigue challenge. There's a 36% chance that no one would notice and that we would gain 50 gold. There's a 64% chance that that we get found out, I'm guessing, and that King William loses opinion of us. Not that we're particularly bothered, but we could be imprisoned, and that we lose 15 stress because we're ambitious. I will not desecrate the dead. So our house is pious, so we could take either of these options technically. Our house is known, allegedly, for being quite pious, so... But I think that his ambition would take over. We do only have 80 gold, we have no camp followers. I think that the ambition would take over and we would hope to not be found out. Okay, so we've pilfered some grave goods uninterrupted and gained the 50 gold. That's good to know. Night attack. It's night when the attackers fall on our perimeter. A motley flash of glinting armour and flashing weapons lit only by distant firelight. If they're wearing any colours, then they're not visible, but their intent is clear enough all the same. Remove us from Suffolk, dead or alive. The camp is not without defenders though, and with a cry of outrage, we prepare to push back this local scourge. So we can counter-attack. It's a martial outcome. There's a 71% chance of us getting a tactical victory and gaining some prestige. There's a 29% chance that we're left bloodied and broken, so we would gain the trait wounded, and our wife would gain the trait wounded. Or into the fray I go, which is a prowess challenge. 64% chance that that's successful, 36% that it's not. Or we can hide. Every non-craven. We're not craven. Hereweard's not craven, so he definitely wouldn't. I think we're going to take the martial challenge, and we're going to counter-attack. Who is it that's actually attacking us? We can't click on this guy. Or is this one of our soldiers, possibly? We'll counter-attack. Right, we gained a tactical victory, so that's good. We was not defeated. Okay, home sweet home. The moment I step foot inside my old family grounds, I know something is wrong. A misshapen lump appears through the fog, a thin pole rising above it. One more step forward and my brother Ordgar's head is perched on top of a stake, the rest of his body in a crumpled, blood-spattered heap below it. That is brutal. Who are you? The voice, in an accent I don't recognise, startles me. I turn to see a man cleaning bloodstains off the weapon in his hands, eyebrow raised at my presence. If you're here for the body, I'm not paying you to take it. I look down at my brother's broken, twisted body. Wow, that's brutal. Poor Ordgar. Yeah, so he's been murdered at the young age of 26. Bless him. So you will die for what you did here. A duel begins. We lose stress because we're vengeful, or you get a single chance to run. We can recover his Ordgar's body unmolested if the man runs away, or he will advance on us anyway, and we'll still have to duel. We're definitely, Hereweard's not going to run away from this. We will be taking this guy on. Let's have a look at him. So he's only got 11. He's average prowess and average martial. He's an aggressive attacker. I think we can take this guy. I think we'll definitely try and take him on. So you will die for what you did here, Frederick. Single combat. For a few brief moments, Frederick and I pace in lazy half circles, each waiting for an opening. I lift my mace, ready to defend myself, while he clutches his hammer firmly to hand. Only one of us is walking away from here today, and I intend it to be me. With a sudden twitch, our bout begins. Spotting an opportunity, Frederick lunges forward and headbutts me hard in the face. I reel backwards, wrong-footed. Well, that's not good. So he'll never see this come in. They're not brilliant odds. Attack first. So we perform a lightning assault. We try to overwhelm him at the start of the bout. There's a very high increase to the likelihood of success, but there's also a high increased risk of injury. Or I'm the fastest blade in England. So we do a blade dance, a series of flashy expert moves which ensures our dueling prowess will be talked about for years. We gain some prestige with a high likelihood of success and a low risk of injury. I think we're going to take that route. In battle, I'm an artist. Every strike is a brushstroke. Every fallen foe or gout of blood, a splash of paint. As I brandish my mace, twitching seamlessly between flourish and strike, I paint a picture of agony across my foe. Frederick counters with a fierce hail of rapid thumps, almost crushing me repeatedly. My form is good, with only small errors, and Frederick's stance is passable. My opponent's guard is fierce, and I feel far from victory. So You have to let your guard down. Eventually, coward is medium increase to success and medium increase to risk of injury. Strike, parry, riposte, high increase of success, medium increase risk of injury, and we lose some stress. Maggot, you think you can stand against me. We try to intimidate him, that's not going to work. I think we're going to strike, parry, riposte. Okay, so we're again leaping into action. This time he manages to swing a vicious kick for my shin, momentarily hobbling me. My form is excellent, his stance is passable, we're evenly matched, with victory balancing on a knife edge. Well, we're not that evenly matched. We are quite a bit better than him, so hopefully we can win this. So this will give us no increase to success, so we're not going to do that. This is a low increase, but no risk of injury. We're going to tire him. We wouldn't do that. That would give us some stress. Or no increase to likelihood of success and low increased risk of injury. To get any increase to the risk of success, we're going to have to take a stress hit. So we are wrathful, but we are going to play. We're going to have to play defensively for a time. We're not going to take any risk of injury, but we've got low increase to our likelihood of success. The other two options give us no increase to our likelihood of success. So we're going to have to take a little hit on stress there. So time and time again, I backpedal, dodge and weave, always keeping just within tempting target distance. Soon, Frederick's showing signs of exhaustion. Frederick stays stock still, seemingly hoping I'll just throw down my mace. My form is excellent, with little chance for mistake, and Frederick's stance is a disaster. We're evenly matched. Okay, so better men than you have died trying to break my guard. We've got a low increase to success and no risk of injury. I'll show you how I lift a mace. Confident attack. Medium increase to risk of success. Medium increase to our likelihood of success and a low risk of injury. Or a high increase and low injury. We're going to take the fastest blade in England option again. There we go. We've finally got a victory. I whirl my mace with a deadly flourish, weaving a song of pain across my opponent with every blow. Stroke by stroke, my symphony of pain takes shape over Frederick's every nerve, drawing screams like choir song punctuated with the ring of steel on steel. When my inspiration begins to run dry, I cut my dance short, allowing my foe to collapse to his knees. Blood pours off of him, so much so that Frederick can barely muster the energy to look up at me. I do him the courtesy of returning his gaze, then ready my mace for the symphony's final note. Goodbye, Frederick. So we win the single combat due to his sudden death. So Frederick de Warren was killed by us. We gained 4 trait experience in the Blade Master trait and 7 trait experience in the Exiled trait. All temporary combat character modifiers have been removed. Okay, so we've added him to our kill list. Goodbye, Frederick. You killed William de Warren's brother, leading to a lifelong blood enmity. Okay, so we've gained a nemesis by killing Frederick. That's fine. I stepped dismissively over Frederick's twitching carcass, returning to Ordgar's body. In time, there will be a grave dug, service held, a ceremony to remember his cruelly short life. For now, the evening turns to night, and I sit and reminisce. He was a peaceful man. It wasn't fair that someone who only wanted to live their life unharmed should have suffered such a fate. Unbidden, a realisation springs to mind. Normans. He would be alive if not for them. There will be 1,000 brothers, 1,000 sisters, 1,000 fathers and mothers and sons and daughters, all across the land, all dying tonight, all due to those damned Normans. I will avenge you, brother, this I promise. So we gain 15 trait experience in the Exile trait and lose some stress. Or the first of many, reparations awaits. That filth I killed seemed to have at least some wealth to their name. We would gain some gold and gain a coin artifact. this seems more fitting in his personality to sort of outwardly state that he's going to avenge his brother. He is he's slow to forget a slight or someone who does him wrong. I think he would definitely see this as more than a slight, so he would want to avenge his brother. So he's going to make that promise. No one would ever find it strange that I sit with my wife by the fireplace until late in the evening, yet there is a tension in the air. I want nothing more than to pull her close and tear the clothes from her body, but if she knew that, she would be horrified. Or, take a look at our wife again. Mistress Turfida. She's vengeful, paranoid, patient. So a hand on her hand would say it all. I hope my subtle signals will be well received. If Turfida returns my advances, the scheme seduce Mistress Turfida gains smouldering chemistry. We are alone, and I will not deny myself her lips. I hope my other interest will be received. Okay, so if she turns our advances, she gains 10 opinion, or it would be a terrible shame to ruin. We're going to put, she's not got a great opinion on us, so I'm going to tread a little bit carefully. We're going to put a hand on her hand. Turfida does not even flinch as my hand grasps hers, even though we both know what it means. I can feel her pulse rising as our conversation continues. My palm sweats and my breathing becomes shallow. Before, what was that? Only a servant. My wife and I make our excuses before departing separately. Damn. But we did gain smouldering chemistry, so that's good. We didn't get the relationship bonus, but that's fine. I don't know if we're going to get interrupted with any more pop-ups, or so we've got some contracts available. I wonder if our wife is terrible. We're not going to put her in that position of being the personal physician because she's not great at it. So this is our camp. Visit the church holding. What could we do? Let's visit the church holding. No man is an island. Let's visit the local church holding of Ely and see what it has in store for us. We'll get the opportunity to listen to exotic stories or recruit some followers. Maintain... Oh, there we go. We're being interrupted. Okay, it has been too many years since I last stepped foot on these lands. A step not taken heavily either, for good reason. Even now, the marshy soil sucks at my boots. These lands, my home, have been called the Fens for many generations now. Indeed, the waters rise so highly in parts that Ely itself is technically an isle. There is no time to waste. Even now that Norman Kerr tightens his grip around good Anglo-Saxon land. To provide any resistance at all, we will need those twin lifebloods of any warfare, money and men. Okay, we must first fill the coffers through any means necessary. I think I spy an ill-defended noble trotting along over yonder, so what will happen is we'll gain 50 gold and holding of Ely gets plundered for 5 years. Okay, or perhaps a local knight. And being local, perhaps they would have quite a knowledge of how best to navigate this terrain, so we could potentially sway them to join our camp. Let's just have a look at him. So he's got excellent martial, poor prowess, but he's a brilliant strategist, aspiring blade master and a forder. I think we're going to take this guy because we don't have anyone in our camp. We've got no camp followers, so we need him. Okay, a moment alone. No one would ever find it strange. Okay, so we sat by the fire again. I think this time we're going to have to try and give her a little kiss. So Turfida returns my kiss, and for a few heart-pounding moments all is right with the world. It cannot last, of course. as we hastily break off before we are seen by a passing servant. When we leave to go to our separate ways, she gazes at me. I did not fully understand until now, husband. You and I, my dearest wife. So we've gained... I think we already had smouldering chemistry, but she's got some more opinion of us, so that's good. Well, I don't understand why we can't kiss our wife in front of a servant, but there we go. Okay, so if we... In fact, let's just take a quick pause, because we do obviously have a camp follower now. Can he take any... Can he be our caravan master? Yeah, he's got good aptitude for that, so let's give him that role. That makes sense. And it gives him a little opinion bonus. Although he's not keen on us at the moment. He's our caravan master and our knight. We do have a couple of contracts nearby as well. So this is another intrigue. This one is a prowess scheme. Okay, so it's a criminal contract. The Earl will deal with these reprobates. Okay, so we have to mug wealthy citizenry. We might take that one. This is a... What's this one? Dealing with county control. Fight corruption. I'm guessing that'll be for our martial skill. Yeah, this is a learning scheme. So we've got either the prowess or the fighting corruption. Right, we're on 28% with our wife. We're going to kiss her again. We're getting there. She's got 21 opinion of us now. When I was on my practice run, I pretty much got to this point and not much further. Before that save file became sort of obsolete. I took on a contract and then had a pop-up and had to make a decision. And then it kind of ended the contract midway through without completing it. So I'm just a little bit reluctant to take the contract. However... But who's in charge of East Anglia? Okay, this is Duke Hugh. So I'm just going off on a tangent now. So Duke Hugh of East Anglia. So he is a vassal of William the Conqueror. So we have England, the Kingdom of England here. We've got Scotland, the Sudrea. Norway is right up here. So he was also trying to encroach on the Kingdom of England, wasn't he? He was trying to sit himself on the throne of England. And then we have Gwynedd. No idea how to pronounce that. Morgan. Okay, what we'll do, I think, is we will take a contract. If we get to where we have to abandon it because we get a story pop up, then that's what we'll do. Before we move on, though, we will visit the church holding, see if we can get some more followers. So let's have a look. Ely, the main square. A magnificent city, the various chants and hymns lay as a comforting blanket over the Ely church holding, and there is no doubt about its religious associations. Passing through the main gates, I spot plenty of Catholic ornaments nestled in the walls, as well as on pilasters and scaffolds. My wife, Turfida, looks around with a content face, seemingly enjoying the changing scenery. Okay. At least our wife's happy to be here. So we can go to the local church grounds. Or we can mingle with the locals at the tavern. Let's mingle with the locals. Okay. The tavern, gathering travellers and local Anglo-Saxons alike, is brimming with activity. Storyteller is seated by the fire a bit further in, and up front a gathering of shabby chums are pestering the server for more wine. Turfida looks around at the jumble of individuals with an intrigued glint in her eye. Wouldn't mind hearing a story or two, or let's see who is up for recruitment. We can hear a story. And since that day, Ruha is banished from the world of light and exiled to the world of darkness. But that story is for another time. The storyteller gives me a mysterious smile, leans back in his fireplace seat and takes another sip of spiced wine. So it's a diplomacy challenge by the look of it. So that story had a few good points. So 25% chance that we get 1 point in diplomacy. 25% chance that parts of the story are applicable to our situation. We get 100 diplomacy experience, or 50% chance we gain exotic diplomacy. Ooh, for 3 months. That's quite good. I mean, it's only for 3 months, but that's decent. Okay, so how do you tell stories so well? I'm not too bothered about gaining that trait experience at the moment. Oh, that was a great story friend. We don't need to lose any stress, so I think we're gonna take this option. There, we got 100 diplomacy lifestyle experience. Okay, and now we can see who's up for recruitment. On my right, Turfida grins appreciatively as a peasant finishes a crude joke involving several bodily fluids. I shoot a surprised look as I weigh what to do next. She's a dark horse, is our Turfida. But let's see who's up for recruitment. Okay, approaching the crew of unemployed Anglo-Saxons, I raise my voice and address them directly. I'm looking for some skilled, reliable people to join my camp. Who among you are up for that task? The interested parties introduce themselves as Elfled the Greedy and Wolfaru the Talkative. As I finish making introductions, a brusque woman immediately walks up to me. My name is Ebba. For reasons that are my own, I would like to join your camp. So, Ebba, I think it's Ebba, is free. She will join our camp for free. She's a Catholic Anglo-Saxon, the same as us. She's vengeful, impatient. She's a misguided warrior, open terrain expert. Castelluda. 14 martial. 10 steward, 10 prowess. And she's lowborn. We only have 130 gold. So these two would take... This one's the most expensive. Oh, but she's good. Although she is a bleeder. She's a herbalist, a miracle worker, adequate bargainer. She's got 25 learning and 15 diplomacy. She's also a Catholic Anglo-Saxon. She's also a wise woman. Elfled. 21 learning, 17 stewardship. Let's see. A herbalist. We could probably do with it, but she is a bleeder. I wonder if she's going to be the better option. I think I'll take Elfled just because she's cheaper. And because I would have had the freebie join us, but she's not great. Her better skill is martial, and we have a good martial. I kind of want somebody to join us who offsets that a little bit. We could do with some learning, and some stewardship would be good. So, and she's 48. She's got no negative traits. I think. Although she's 53. We'll take Elfled, I think. We're not going to get any children out of these two. We might have got a child out of her. We could have married her off to someone, but We'll hopefully be able to make some go back, so we'll take you. As I make my way back from the recruits, I catch an enticing scent from the bowls of stew being prepared in the kitchen. Turfida, who's starting to look a bit weary, glances at a nearby table. If we're staying much longer, could we at least eat something? We are done here by the look of it. Okay. Something else. Supplies, town crier. Let's head back and we'll go back to camp. So we have our new courtier here. Is she going to be... She's average, but we'll put her in that role for now. Because we don't have anyone who can do it any better, to be honest. Is there anything our wife is particularly good at? Oh, she's a good quartermaster. I'm assuming... Oh no, we could we appoint her? Can she be our personal physician and quartermaster? Yeah, she can. Okay, fine. If we have to replace her as the personal physician, then we'll do that. But she can be our quartermaster and personal physician for now. Don't know if we really have a role for our wife at the moment. It doesn't seem like we do. Like she's going to be particularly useful at anything that we can give her at the moment. I think for the first episode, I am going to leave it there. And next episode, we'll look at taking on one of these contracts, just because I'm conscious we're getting over the 45-minute mark now. I want to leave the first episode a little bit shorter, just because it's the introductory episode. We're just kind of getting to know Hereweard and our position and what's available to us. It has been a little bit eventful. We've obviously left Flanders. We've come across to East Anglia to avenge our brother, and we're going to be now looking to... Well, to do that, we need to obviously make a bit of a mark on the on England first. We need to gain some more men. We need some more gold. We need to make a name for ourselves, put ourselves in a better position. So that's what we'll aim to do in the next episode. Just as a little aside as well. So I was on with the Game of Thrones mod series, the House House Velaryon. Completely forgot who I was playing then. House Velaryon playthrough. I do have one more episode of that to upload, which I will do. But now, obviously, when the update has dropped, that save file is no longer valid. I could roll back to continue the series, but I think it's got to quite a pivotal point where it would also make sense to end the series where it is. You'll see, if you've watched that series, then you'll see why I'm saying that when the 14th episode drops. If I do decide to just kind of leave it there, then I will do a little updated video just to give you the reasons why for that, just so it's not just kind of cut off dead and that series just stops there without any explanation. So I will do that. I think it's unlikely I'll continue with that series. I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to play unmodded for now and just explore the Roads to Power DLC and wait on a full update for the Game of Thrones mod, however long that takes. I'm happy to wait for it before I start another series on that mod. But yeah, for now we'll just have fun exploring Roads to Power. There's a couple of little ideas I have in mind that we don't need any mods for. So yeah, that's exciting. We'll crack on with that. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, then yeah, feel free to let me know. Feel free to give the video a little thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.